Now common sense would say she should get what? We know she gets this, and she should get that too, shouldn't she? I mean, if we got a savings account at the bank and I die, she can go down to the bank and get that money, can't she?
But what happened to the 50K that was supposed to be in savings?
Well, we didn't get to retirement yet. I died before retirement. I'm not to there yet. I had to go all the way to retirement to get this.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Guys, they keep the savings if you die.
They do.
How can they do that?
Because it was their money in the first place, but they would tell you that?
That's right. Because it says right in the policy that they own the cash value, as long as it's in the policy. That's why they can charge you interest to borrow it, and if you die, they can keep it. Good deal for who? Now let's go back to the real reason why my wife and I called him in the first place. We were trying to be responsible people and take care of our family. If I died and my wife even got the check for 50, how long was that going to last her?
Couple years.
1 year maybe.
It replaced my teaching salary at that time for about 2 years.
But she
It
had
would
to
not-
bury you first, too.
Oh, she actually got to bury me. Yep. So it doesn't even cover 2 years, does it? She can't pay off the house. She can't pay off the car. So my wife's high school track coach helped us figure out that first of all, 50,000 wasn't going to take us very far. And he helped us calculate out that at that time, we really needed closer to about 200 on each other. And when we saw that, we looked at him and we laughed. We said, yeah, right. Like we can afford 200. We're paying 72 bucks a month for 50. You're telling us we got to spend $280 a month on life insurance? You're kidding me. Isn't that what you'd say?
No, I'd say, so show me the way. Show me how I can afford this.
Very good, Jill. Very good.
By buying term insurance, we could get $200,000 on each other for $42 a month total. Not each. 42 total. Isn't that what we were looking for when that first guy came to my house and drank my coffee at my dining room table? Why didn't I hear about it from him?
Because he was trying to benefit himself by screwing them.
It's true.
So it comes out to.
If you were the insurance company, which of these is more profitable? That or this? That's way more profitable, isn't it? Especially once you've learned about the rule of 72 and the fact they can take whatever money's left over here, and since they own it, they can invest it and make themselves 10 or 12 or 14% interest, and they only got to pay me 2 to 4? So if you own the insurance company and you're training people to sell insurance for your company, which one are you training them to sell? This one or this one? Top one every time, aren't you? Especially when you take into consideration that you're taking on 4 times more risk for half the money. No brainer. Well, what can I do with the extra 30 bucks? Could get another 100,000 of insurance if I wanted. Here's a novel idea. How about I use the 30 bucks to pay my credit card off quicker that's charging me 24% interest? How about I put the 30 bucks into a savings account for my kids' college that's actually going to grow to something someday? and maybe pay for more than his books. Guys, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen tons of those policies that were sold to people strictly as college education plans. And when we run the illustrations, or get out the illustrations that's with the policy, and it shows what that account is going to grow to by the time that kid's ready to go to college, it won't even cover the books. Because those guys never showed them what the real cost of college was going to be by them. It just looked good and sounded good. And it was guaranteed to make who money?
But I have a question.
Yep.
It's term, so
Yep.
let's say it's 40 years,
Yep.
and so I'll be in my 80s, it's not a good example for me, but for these guys in 60 years, and they paid $42 and the term's up,
Yep.
so what do they get for their $42 a month?
Peace of mind. Peace of mind that if you did die, you had the right amount of insurance.
But otherwise, if you go a term, that $42, you don't get it at the end.
And how's that different than your car insurance
True.
or your house insurance?
Just asking.
It's a great question, isn't it? But see, it's no different than your car insurance or your house insurance, is it? If you don't wreck your car, your house don't burn down, what do you get back from all those payments?
Nothing.
Nothing. But you can't afford not to have it. Right? So here's what I get all the time. I shouldn't say all the time. Once in a while. I don't get it all the time. Once in a while. I can't afford $42 a month. Well, just a second. You're married. You got kids. You got debt. And you need the Madden 2013 worse than you need to protect your family. Makes no sense, does it? I call it the middle class mindset. Everything is about now instead of the future. What I do by going through a series of questions with them is I get them to think about the future and now at the same time instead of just now. This was called whole life. There's another one called universal life. And there's another one called variable life. They're all called cash value by the industry. We call them trash value. Guys, nobody with any level of financial knowledge at all would ever buy this instead of this if you were showing the difference, would they? Why did I buy that instead of that?
You're unaware of doing it.
They didn't educate me. Now, who's supposedly the financial professional in that little meeting that we had in 1993? He was, wasn't he? I sure as heck wasn't claiming to be. That's why I had him come over. Guys, here's what I learned. After that meeting, I started doing this part-time. I learned that almost every one of those agents out there who sell this, guess what kind they buy for their own family? Can you think of a lower form of human being than somebody would come into my house, drink my coffee, when I'm trying to be a responsible adult? And sell me the exact opposite of what he owns for his own family.
And I bet somewhere in his little spiel he told you that's what he has for his family.
Oh, he does have some of it. He's got to make that statement true. So he buys a little one. Right? He'd be a hypocrite if he said what she just said and he didn't have any. How's he make himself not a hypocrite? Well, I'll buy a little one.